Welcome to Modding Today, the new series that keeps you up to date with what's going on in the modding community of that 10-year-old game we all can't stop playing. Let's get into it. Everglade has been working on a new spooky quest mod called Sirenroot. Here's the premise. A mysterious voice was discovered in the depths of Lake Honric, stemming from an unusual plant. However, upon uprooting said plant, an entrance to a flooded cave is revealed. You and a team of divers are hired by Ingun Blackbriar to investigate and salvage any alchemical ingredients or artifacts. But things don't go as planned, and the cavern's structure falls apart, trapping you and the team in the ruins below. Sirenroot will be around 2 to 4 hours long, and will feature a huge dungeon with puzzles, built with vertical level design, and makes full use of Everglade's animated traversal mod. So expect to do some serious traversal. I'd also like to mention that the dungeon uses the new Alien tile set from the anniversary upgrade, with new resources slapped on top, so you already know it's gonna look really fine. But what about NPCs, Mern? Well, don't you worry. Sirenroot will feature voiced NPCs with unique personalities that may live or die depending on player choices. I know, having actual choices with consequences in Skyrim? That's crazy. Everglade's goal is to create something different than the average quests and dungeons you find in Skyrim, so expect something fresh, with multiple endings, secrets, and more. You'll definitely want to keep your eyes peeled for Sirenroot's release 1 to 2 months from now. But you know what else you should keep your eyes peeled for? Skillshare! Have you heard about Skillshare? Ever wanted to improve your skills?
Yes, of course.
Well, say no more. Skillshare has got you covered. It's the best online learning platform, with thousands of courses and classes to help you learn, explore, and discover skills, from business to art to self-improvement.
You learn quickly.
Skillshare is a great place to help you fuel your creativity, and it matters not if you're new to a skill or already an expert. It's got something for everyone.
You have learned so much already.
I've been watching Dmitry Belichenko's class on making music in FL Studio 12, and it's recently helped me make music.
Well done.
Not only is Skillshare affordable, but the first 1,000 people to use the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial. So click on the link in the description to join Skillshare and improve your skills today. Let's talk about Skyrim's animation scene. It's blown up this past year. However, more recently, it's gone nuclear. Animation mods are being released almost as fast as J-Serpa releases his mods. A large reason for this is because of paid modding. Now, hold up, I know this topic can get quite controversial. Bringing up paid modding in the Skyrim community is like asking people if they like pineapple on pizza. It's polarizing and bound to cause some arguments. But we need to talk about it more, because I often see people painting paid modding very black and white, when it isn't. There are various degrees of paid modding. For the most part, you've got fully paywalled mods, early access mods, and public mods, but authors are paid from people downloading. Things get even more complicated when you take a look at how authors make money. Obviously, there's a big difference between authors who illegally paywall ports of content other people have created versus authors who paywall mods they've made from scratch. It gets very complicated, and the sentiment I see over and over again, that being all paid modding is bad, is just... But whether you like to admit it or not, paid modding has helped propel Skyrim into a golden era of animation, with multiple authors adopting the early access model. New crucial frameworks, tools, and rigs have been made possible, like MCO, an animation framework this silly French guy released not so long ago, and was only possible because he could quit his job and focus on modding full-time. It's also allowed him to afford a mocap suit, so expect to see some more interesting things in the future. I am personally a big advocate of the early access model. Some people stand their ground, of course, saying that mods should be 100% free. But if you think about it, mods that start in early access that later get released publicly is exactly that. The mod's free. As long as early access mods aren't in a perpetual beta, of course, it benefits literally everyone at the end of the day. Modders get paid and can justify putting in the ridiculous amount of time it takes to make some mods, and mod users eventually get the mods, well, for free, in a more polished state, because the mod has had time to be developed and tested by the author alone or a closed community. I see this as an absolute win. But okay, Here we are in mid-2022, and animators have been using MCO alongside DAR, AMR, and other tools to create some mind-blowing things. Animators are just on a whole other level these days. Like, alright, most of you know by now we can add movesets to weapons, but more recently, authors like Osteo have been working on unique dual-wield movesets for weapons like axes and daggers, giving these weapon combinations insanely unique playstyles. These movesets are incredible. Like, it's up to professional standards, and even feature chainable power attacks. We even have animators like Mike Nike, who's literally a professional animator working in the game industry, mind you, putting out movesets for new weapon types other mods add, like rapiers. It's crazy. These weapons aren't even in the base game, and even though we already have whole entire moveset collections like the Elder Souls collection Mike Nike made, we've still got animators like Black, putting out whole new ones like Elden Ring. And if that wasn't enough for you, there are even gun movesets like Entropy's weapon animations, kickboxing unarmed movesets, and mods like Kingsglaive that adds a magical morphing weapon with its own moveset. The animation scene is busier than Helga's bunkhouse, and we're absolutely spoiled for choice these days. It's a straight up buffet. But okay, adding movesets to the game is obviously going to have some issues. Like Skyrim's vanilla AI, it doesn't really know what to do with it. It just blindly repeats the same move over and over again. Like EA, re-releasing FIFA every year. But thankfully, Monitor created a mod called Scar to finally give enemies some intelligence, allowing for enemies to take advantage of animation frameworks like MCO, SkySay, and ABR. Scar has been in early access for a while, but more recently, Maxu and Monitor have worked together, and Scar has been rebuilt with SKSE. It's now much better and publicly available. NPCs also properly take factors like distance to enemies and angles into account before attacking, and the end result is some pretty good enemy AI. But things just keep getting better, because Ursh has just publicly released Precision. You know, that mod that adds proper collision to creatures and melee weapons, giving movesets more identity, while also allowing you to hit multiple enemies with attacks. Now, Precision has been in early access for a while, and like my mod list, it's been completely reworked multiple times. However, unlike my mod list, it's reached a point where it's actually playable. Ursh has pimped Precision up, it's not as buggy anymore, and it's got new and improved features like ragdoll collisions, so actors react to where they've been hit, recoiling animations from hitting objects, weapon trails, and hit stop with camera shake. Thankfully, all of these features are tweakable in its MCM, and so I highly recommend everyone to try it out, especially if you're trying to bring Skyrim closer to modern action RPGs. Now here's something you don't see every day. Animated tentacles. Well, okay, maybe some of us see that every day. I'm not gonna judge. So you might have noticed it's possible to animate gear, and authors like Salt Maxwell have done this to weapons like Mirak's sword and Dawnbreaker. We've even seen authors like John Skyrim and Zing animate armor. You don't really see it often, but it's always a joy when you do. Thankfully, Monitor has been working on animated Dwarven arsenal. He's currently animated Dwarven shields and maces to be retractable, and Dwarven control rods to rotate and speed up when casting. Look at it, it spins. The mod is in early access, but will be expanded in the future to include more animated Dwarven gear like quivers, hammers, and helmets with retracting faceplates. So be sure to support Monitor on Patreon if you want early access to this mod. But that's not all Monitor's been working on. Have you ever wanted to roleplay as a bard with magical powers? Well, say no more. Monitor has got you covered with Bard Magic Overhaul. Alright, so I've seen a lot of wild and wacky mods over the years, but this one easily takes the cake. I mean, casting spells with a lute? It's ridiculous, sure, but it's a genius idea. You can even hear yourself strumming your own lute when casting, and your music will change depending on the types of spells you cast. It just works. You could even argue that it's somewhat lore-friendly if you believe in theories like the Elder Scrolls universe being a song and all. Spoiler alert, it definitely is. To get started, you'll need to have, well, a lute, and the respective perk in the speech tree. So consider using this mod to put together a bard build. With other mods out there like Skyrim's Got Talent and Ordinator, roleplaying a bard has never been more fun.
Please, I can't. Just not
I do not approve at all.
Shout animations. They've been done before by mods like Thume. However, Thume's shout animations contain motion data. Basically, you need to commit to these animations and can't move for its duration. And so it's not for everyone. I get it. Commitment can be scary. But for those who still want to spice up shout animations without the commitment, well, Vero Levy has just put Goetia Animations' Conditional Shouts out for early access. The mod features 7 animations for different types of shouts. It's subtle, but still pretty neat. So support Vero Levy on Patreon if you want early access to these animations. The creator of Animation Motion Revolution, Alexilix, has been working on a new project. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Compass Navigation Overhaul. Are you tired of constantly having to open the map to check objectives when you have multiple quests tracked? Well, worry no more. This mod provides extra information on your HUD when facing objectives. You'll see the name of the quest, and even its visual accents to help you determine what kind of quest it is or which quest line it belongs to. You can also see the names of locations you've discovered, how far away they are, and if locations are below or above your current altitude. I know it's not absolutely game-changing, but I'm sure a lot of you will appreciate this quality of life mod, and it'll definitely save you some time during your adventures. Be sure to support Alexilix on Patreon if you want early access to Compass Navigation Overhaul. Guys, history has just been made. Now many of you have probably tried out custom voice follower mods, but what if I told you a new follower just dropped that's been voiced by a not safe for work voice actress? I present to you Vayne, a dark elf spy voiced by Alexia Ronaldez, who some of you naughty gamers out there may recognize as Lily from Subverse.
Oh, I wonder, did you just bump into me on purpose? Feel something you like?
Now I will mention, Vayne doesn't exactly have a good moral alignment. Alright, she's kind of a bad bitch, a little crazy,
So much fun.
and has history with the Thieves Guild and Dark Brotherhood, but she's perfect for those role-playing a more evil character. She also isn't your average run-of-the-mill follower. She's been built with a custom brand new follower system, comes with an MCM menu, her own class, skills, perks, and oh, did I mention she has her own horse called Solace? She's also the very first follower ever to have support for certain sussy mods like Naughty Voices, which for those who don't know, well, it's a voice add-on for Ostim that sadly I can't talk much about or show, or I risk getting demonetized.
Yes.
Yeah, definitely do not download this mod if you are under the age of 18. And that concludes the episode. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoy modding news videos like this, and consider supporting the channel on Patreon. My amazing patrons help make it possible for me to keep producing the content you're watching, while I also study at uni. Take care, lads and lasses, and I'll catch you next time. Skillshare.